Sanke. For you, coffee.
I'm a living example of you can get punched in the face and get back up, because I'm the modern day Aztec warrior.
Welcome to MMA Underground. We're here having a fun time. You got your host, Buddy V, and your other host,
Sam K. We in the building. Yeah.
We got two fun guests today. One representing each of our home yards as well. From the Scrapyard, we got La Araña.
That's me.
Yes, sir. And all the way from StreetBeefs West Coast, we got Mike 100. Yeah. What's good, y'all?
Nothing much.
Really?
Just having fun.
Look like we got 200 in there too, huh?
Oh yeah. This dude is every gym we've been to in Southern California to spar, he's right there. So he's with me now.
Awesome.
That's the way to do it. That way you get to see, the transition of your dad going from badass to super badass.
And soaking up the game too.
That's true. I think that's one of my favorite movies, Price of Glory. That was one of them when the dad boxed and had the kids and brought them all up. It's just like, so yeah, definitely have my kids involved too.
Yeah, he's got a couple fights.
What? We talking boxing or what?
Boxing, jiu-jitsu, and pancration.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Dang, starting off young.
Yeah,
and
man.
Speaking of young, Araña, you look extremely young. Honestly, the first time I met you, I thought you were 16. So I have to know, how old are you really?
Huh?
How old are you?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Heck yeah.
I'm 18.
Fresh 18. Dang, man, you're like the Energizer bunny out there. You're just like ready to go, jump around the whole ring.
I need to be patient. That's what I need to do. I need to be more patient.
Bro, I was watching you before we jumped on the live. I was just watching your last fight, or at least the fight from a month ago. And I was impressed, man. That was my first time seeing you. And, you were coming forward, you know what I mean? And that's not something you see often with the younger guys.
Yeah, it's hard to do. But you definitely need the cardio to, like,
oh, did he freeze? Oh, man. We're like,
you need the Wi-Fi too.
You said that earlier. Well, since we were going to talk about, some of his training, I was going to ask you, Mike 100, about a little bit of your training, because, I've seen in your fights, you're very technical. You have the skills to back it up as well with the footwork. Did you fight growing up too, or?
Yeah. A lot of unsanctioned fights, but my actual first fight with the referee was with Dirty Devil.
Dang, hell yeah.
Classic, bro. Classic. Shout out to Dirty Devil, the OG.
I love Dirty Devil. When he came to Scrapyard, he put work in, and I lucked up because that was the first fight of yours I watched, and you went from Dirty Devil, who has hands, to Compa G, who's already certified in the West Coast of the boxer as well. So I'm curious to see either who you want next or who you're gonna get next. I'm kind of like,
like I've said before, whoever the powers that be want me to fight, I'll fight them. Someone preferably in my weight though, because the last fight they wanted me to fight was a smaller guy. I want someone around my weight. you know, anywhere from 170,
175.
185.
Hey, with that said, do you have anyone in mind? Anyone on the list?
No, not really. Anybody but my teammates.
Straight up.
I can respect that. And I'm actually funny because I had that question for you, Araña. I was curious if you had your eyes set on anybody, because I know we have a good division for, I think, like 145 and under, and then about 170 and above for boxing. I feel like those are two very solid areas we have. Anyone you think you might go good against?
Honestly, I think I might compete against anybody, you know, because I never know who I'm training against, because they're all fierce and hard fighters, and so I try to stay ready for anybody. You know, I know they have some good heavy hitters. You know, I try to keep up with them, even though they're like older than me. You still gotta train twice as hard.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
with hard work, skills. Oh, no, I'll let you say it.
I like that mentality. That's all I was gonna say.
Hey, go see. Honestly, go for it. The one thing a lot of fighters have said, and you guys can even chime in what you think too, is my first thing is just get out there. You don't know what you're going to work on until you get out. You can run, you could train, you could spar, but until you have your first 100% somebody going all out on you and you going all out on them, the adrenaline with the rush, the everything, even the slip ups, you'll really just see from there where to grow and how to build. I don't know. What do you guys think?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
There's sparring, even if it's hard, it's still not the same thing as fighting. You get the smaller gloves, and in Street Beef's case, you don't have headgear. And, you know, some people, especially the newer guys, you're going to have a little bit of nerves running through your veins. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, I think the adrenaline, too, is my favorite thing to kind of get through. After a few fights, you kind of walk in, and it's not necessarily as much adrenaline as you know how to kind of calm down. It's almost enjoyable. It's like, So it's like, I don't know. What's your guys' headspace that you kind of, because I know some people see, they get ready to kill. Some people find it more like a chess match and almost like listen to classical music. How do you guys prepare for a fight with your mentality?
Deep waters.
Hey, all right.
Constantly in the deep waters. We might not have to go to the deep waters, but we train in the deep water all the time.
Absolutely. What about you, Araña?
I heard about Mike 100 spar sessions and how, you know, it's straight fireworks from start to finish.
Yep.
And it shows in your fighting and in your performance, you know. It definitely shows that nonstop, no quit dog. You know, you see it.
Thank you.
Quick question for Araña. Oh shit! Are you here?
Yeah, my internet's like acting so slow. Sorry, what was the question?
It happens, bro. I wanted to ask you, man, with you being 18, how long have you been fighting?
For about 3 years almost, but like in those 3 years, like a lot's happened. Like in my first year, I didn't really like get to spar as much. I just only like learned the basics, obviously. But then in my second year, you know, that's when I was like, you know, I kind of do like this. And then my third year, which is now, I was like, you know what, let's continue to do this, you know?
Dope.
Thank you. And what's your mentality for when you go in the cage? How do you prepare?
I feel like the other people want the other guy to win, and I don't like that. So I'm just like, prove them wrong.
I like that. I feel like I kind of like clock in and go to work. I feel like that's where I'm at now. I know when to use a certain mentality. I know that when I fought, it was more of a blind rage. Now I feel like I actually have control over when I fight. So I clock in, I go to work. I can goof off a little bit, like, 5 minutes before my fight. But then after that, it's kind of like I zone in. You walk in, and the minute you step in, it's like your punch card gets hit, and you're like, all right, we're here to handle business.
Exactly.
I like that. See, me, I'm a little different. I gotta almost prep mentally and physically, but I almost have to prep mentally for months in advance, bro. I gotta envision the fight. I gotta put myself almost in a simulator, for days on end, and Yeah. For me, it's a little bit of a transformation because I gotta sit on it. You know what I mean, and know that I'm prepared to go to war if need be. You know, like this is what it is. You know, you know how some people say like, oh, sparring is fighting. It's really not. Even if it's a hard spar, you know, I could put it like this. It's real simple. You could walk out of a hard spar. Myself, I can walk out of a hard spar and I can recall everything that went on in that spar.
Exactly.
Regardless to how the fight went, bro, after a real fight, fogginess, I remember, but I can't really say what happened. I got to see it.
So you have to have a good corner.
Yeah.
Your corner lets you know what's working and what you have to work on.
Yeah. People forget the mental. It's huge.
Exactly. It's a mental game. And I was curious, Mike 100, so you said you train at a gym. Do you ever train with other street beef people too, or how long have you been with
hell yeah. Train with people from Street Beefs all the way from San Diego all the way up to Victorville.
Dang, all right.
A whole bunch of guys. 619, Hitman, Coyote, Coach. Well, we only had one fight, but Coach Drew, who's in the BKFC now. I always get some heat from those guys up there. Also, some other guys at the Cobra Kai MMA. We get some good rounds up there too. I mean, there's like 5 or 6 different gyms that I could, probably more than that I could name.
They're not working.
And you also do coaching, correct?
Yeah. Yep. I'm actually right now. I'm supposed to be coaching my kids right now, but I had to tell them that we're gonna move it to tomorrow. So, but yeah, yep.
Hey, well, we appreciate your time, bro. That's it. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, Araña, I know you train with a few people from around the scrapyard. You want to talk about who you train with?
Yeah, I train with Lights Out and JB, and we have our own little group. It's called Cutthroat Boxing.
And how do you feel that that's improved your technical skill when it's come to getting in that cage or that ring?
You said what?
How has it improved your technical skill? Because I know both of them they have good training. Both of them showed crazy improvement throughout the past few years. So I just want to see how like that benefited you.
They give me something to think about because like, you know, you can only see so much from like your point of view when you're fighting, but when other people see how you fight, you know, like it's kind of different. And so, you know, I take a lot of things what they say like to heart. And so like they tell me to like move around more and like, you know, do certain techniques a lot more. And so I implement them, and, you know, I find out that they work. So, you know, it's good to have people that are real to you and they're not going to like always like hype you up, you know?
That's they even say about real friends too. You know, the best of the best friends aren't going to tell you everything you want to hear. Sometimes they have to tell you that 1 or 2 things you don't want to hear, but at least you know that they're being real. So
Only way to progress, bro. Only way to progress. Hey, Araña, how far do you plan on taking this scrapyard career?
I don't know, because me and my friends, we want to like actually like do this for real. So we want to go to amateurs, and then we want to like turn professional after like a certain amount of fights in the amateur league, and then go professional from there. But we have to like get with like a coach, like a real coach.
Right.
We can have cutthroat boxing, but it's just we need like people with like sanctioned like experience, you know?
Yeah.
A little icing on the cake.
Exactly.
I mean, I like it a lot.
Shout out Bomb Squad too. I forgot Bomb Squad.
Oh, Bomb Squad, you Hitman.
Bro, I can hear Hitman screaming it somehow. I can hear him in his Bomb Squad. I can see the jersey right now when you said that.
Hell yeah. Now, Mike, I was curious because he talked about Araña, some of his goals, and you having the skill set that you have, and with 2023 being around the corner, what were some of your fighter goals that you had as well?
Bare knuckle.
What? That was one of my damn questions. Oh!
165, 165, maybe 155, because it's the next day weigh-in. So, shit, got all day for that. But yeah, bare knuckle should be coming up.
Yeah. If you've seen the show before and everyone tuning in new, we've had some BKFC fighters on here. We've had some of the young ones. We've had some of the old ones. We had Kai Stewart when he made wave. We have fighter legends like Joey Beltran come on. We've even had some of the girls like, oh my goodness, this is so crazy.
Check it out. We got a future BKFC fighter right here, right now.
Yeah, no, it's going down, man. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
We got future pro. The future pro too. Yeah.
We claiming that. We saying that now.
Hey, I can dig it. So, what kind of intrigued you then to getting into BKFC? I'm curious.
So I had a conversation. So I just was looking at myself. I'm 35. So you got pro boxing or bare knuckle. For me, bare knuckle made more sense. All you need for bare knuckle is a hard punch. You have to be able to take a punch, and you need heart. And that's all. That's all you need for bare knuckle.
Yep,
that's it. Age. I don't think age is as big as a factor as it is in professional boxing. So that's why I'm choosing bare knuckle.
Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, we love bare knuckle over here. And some of the questions we've even asked people, or even if they would ever consider bare knuckle or how they take care of their hands. I mean, and Araña, as you heard earlier, we've had some young people who got into BKFC, and these, age really doesn't matter. If that ever came across your path, do you think you might do that, or you want to stick to just straight boxing?
I respect bare knuckle boxers a lot. It takes a lot of guts out there, and I see the pictures every time, like after they fight, it's like all bloody and like.
Yeah, man.
I respect it, but me personally, I wouldn't do that. But I respect people that do that.
You're also 18, man. Give it about 10 years.
Maybe.
All your joints are good.
A lifetime ago.
It's for a certain fighter,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do love anything related to the fight game because, like I always tell people, I've had one person be like, "Oh yeah, you were playing around fighting." I'm like, "No, we don't play fight. You can play football. You can play any sport. You don't play fight. I don't care. MMA, boxing, BKFC. Then you don't play. You step in there. It takes heart, and it takes a real man or woman to really stand face to face, one on one. No one's getting involved. You're really just testing yourself. I mean, there's obviously it's big for what it is, but there's not as many people that do it, which goes to show that there is only a small percentage of us that really are fighters. And I think that in life we become more successful because of it, because you have to fight in life regardless.
Grows your character.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Jay, can you pull up that last comment real quick? The one by J-Mania. So this is Mike Capone.
Shout out to Zay.
And he's telling us right now, this man hits like a truck. That's with gloves on. Imagine bare knuckle. These dudes are dropping left and right.
I think earlier Hitman said something about how hard he hits too. Yeah,
man.
That's gonna be crazy to see. I got my fight pass already paid for. I watch it every weekend.
I don't know if you saw his last fight on the live stream, bro, but it was a banger, bro. It was a banger. If you check out on if you guys go to Heart in the Fight channel, check out the live stream from Saturday, and make sure you look up Mike 100's fight, because this man went to work. Yes.
Man, all right. So you find 3 cages now then: the Smoke Ranch, the other cage, and then the one with the hay barrels.
The one in California. I think it's a Barefoot Farmers pad. I think Barefoot Farmer. I think that was his name. That's the guy in Ventura or somewhere in Ventura. It was really nice, real scenic. Didn't feel like where usually you don't fight in places like that. It was really nice.
And for both of you, for Araña and Mike 100, do you guys think you might just stay in your respective branches? Do you want to try to branch out and try to hit a couple other yards? Is that on your to-do list or kind of in?
What's up, guys?
Oh no, I'm waiting on him.
Let's hear that, Araña. Sorry.
I thought he was gonna go first.
Yeah, man, I want to get one of these days. I mean, it's a big trip, but I know Hitman and wants to go across the country to the OG yard. So if he's gonna go, shoot, I'm gonna go too. So that's one. I got some family up there in Kent, so maybe when I'm visiting some family up there, I might slide through the Gig Harbor.
Heck yeah.
So
Hey, that'd be dope, man. To see Mike in every yard. Fire.
I want to hear how every punch sounds in the different cameras. Yeah.
Loud as fuck. Hey, what about you, Araña? You thinking about going to any other branch or what?
Probably just stay in this one because it's closer and I don't drive yet. And yeah, plane tickets are expensive. I'm trying to save.
That's damn
true.
For now. But maybe later on. Yeah.
Now I got kind of a fun one. I'm curious because obviously we have like a younger and an older fighter, and we have different generations. I was curious as to who some of your inspirations of fighting would be, because I mean, if I was to say, you know, I like my Chicano fighters, you might say De La Hoya, you might say Ryan Garcia. I don't know, but
Ryan Garcia. I'll tell you that. I mean, I wouldn't say Ryan Garcia, but that's just me.
Yeah. He's interesting. I'll say that. It was just. So, what do you think, Mike? Who's some of your favorite fighters?
Shoot, the fighters that I fight with, that I train with right now.
I like that answer. Yeah.
The fighters that I train with right now, every day, that I see every day. Those are the ones that inspire me.
What about you, Araña? I know you're thinking you got some good ones, huh? Oh, they freeze. Oh man.
That Wi-Fi, man. Did you hear that?
Huh? My son cut out again. For boxing or for MMA?
Yeah, you can box MMA, either one. Just yeah.
Well, I really like Tyson Fury, and then also
Wi-Fi.
That's that glitch in the matrix.
I'll throw one. I'll throw a couple out. Arturo Gotti. When I was a kid, I always liked watching Arturo Gotti fights. And the dude who knocked Mayweather's tooth out. Damn, what's his name?
I know you're talking about. I forgot his name too.
The Argentinian fighter.
Marcos Maidana.
Yeah. I like the way he punches, man. He's got real like different style of punching. It's like a downward overhand that you can't prepare for that. There's no one else punching like that. So, but yeah, I'm not really an inspiration, but I like his style.
No, definitely. There's some, and it's hard because there are certain boxers that really solidify their names, and I know a lot of them. I always hear Mike Tyson, and people are like, I don't want to sound cliche, but Mike Tyson. It's like, if you actually fight.
Mike was the hero, man. Growing up.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, I was curious. This is where we get a little juicy for this question. Why do you guys fight? What is the real reason that you step out in there and you actually get in that cage? And We can start with Mike, and then we get Araña right after.
For me, would be the endorphins. I chase the endorphins. That good feeling you get after, and it's not just for fighting, but it's from like working out. Period. It's like a lifestyle. So, and then some days when when it's rare, but some days when I'm like, damn, I don't feel like doing this run. I know after I bang out, it's just them 7 miles, that it's gonna feel good. So once I started grasping that and realizing that, I started chasing that. It turned from 1 to 2 to 4 times a day. So that's why I like fighting.
That's dope, bro.
Why I like fighting?
Yeah, why do you fight?
I fight because I know this is what's gonna like help me, get out. Well, not necessarily anything, but I know this is like gonna help me get to where I need to in the future. I know this is. Sorry, we got a phone call. It was who's calling me? Lights out.
But, you should be watching the live.
I know.
Lights out.
I fight. I mainly fight for me too. I know what I have to do. I know I have to do this because this is what I feel like I'm made to do.
That's a solid, man.
What about this?
Hey, I wanted to ask you guys, where did the names come from? How did we come up with the names?
Go ahead, man.
For me, it was actually interesting. So I was like wearing like the Spider-Man trunks, and it had like a Spider-Man logo on it. And so when I was like signing up for my name, like originally on my name when I signed in the September event, like the very first event I've ever signed up for, it was like I signed up as the Express, like a train. But when I got to the event, I was like, I don't want that to be my name. So I was just like, I don't know. You can't do Spider-Man because it's copyrighted. I don't want to get sued. So there's a lady over there, and she was like, how about we do La Araña? And I was like, okay, that works. And so that's basically how it came up with.
What does that mean?
The spider.
Oh, okay.
In Spanish, yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, it fits, bro.
Spiders are quick, they're lengthy, you got that length, and it definitely, that's a lot better than Express.
For me, I was kind of being stubborn, I think. So they told me to put my fight name, and I put Mike. And I think it was Martin or someone was like, "Hey, you can't put your name. You gotta have a fight name." So I was like, "Okay, Mike 100. Can I do that?" So I still got my name, just a couple numbers after it. But that's how I came up with my name.
Does Mike 100 mean like you keep?
What was that?
Does Mike 100 like you keep it real? Like you keep it 100?
No. I just wanted my name to be. I wanted people to know my name. So
okay.
That's the only.
Well, Tiny Tank's there, he's taking credit. Yeah, Tiny Tank. Put that name in stone.
The crazy part is like just adding the 100, it makes it so memorable. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, keep 100.
It fits now, man, because before people didn't believe that was my name. But now everybody knows that's my name now, so it's pretty cool. Before people are like, "What's your name?" And I tell them, and they're like, "But what's your nickname?" And I tell them, they'll be like, "Nah, man, that ain't your nickname." But I'd say probably like the last 6 months, people are like, "Oh, okay, that's his nickname."
I think I saw down in the comments that there was one question where they were asking who your toughest opponent was.
No.
Right there. Bam, who's your toughest opponent?
I'd say I'd say my amateur in USA boxing, I had wasn't really a tough opponent. What it really was is I had Achilles surgery 5 months prior. So I was doing everything but running, right? I was doing the Versa climbers, doing the Stairmaster, I was doing the rower, thousands of meters. I mean, working out 3 hours a day, everything but running because I couldn't run because I just had Achilles surgery. And yeah, I fought dude, and it wasn't. I mean, I went all 3 rounds, but I learned a lesson, and the lesson is you have to run. You can't cheat the system.
Yeah.
So, especially for my style.
All you fighters, listen up. Everybody needs to listen on that. You can't skip out on running.
Can't skip out on it. Even though I didn't want to, I tried to cheat the system. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this Versa climb, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and do that. And I did it. Trust, believe, I did it. But no, there's none that substitutes running and sprinting. Nothing.
What about you? What's your who was your hardest opponent?
My hardest so far, it had been my first fight with Fool, the dude that I fought in the September event. He was hard.
Yeah.
I was like doing like a lot of. It wasn't like I look back on it now. Like I was like rewatching it. I was like, like why did I do that? Because like there was like a certain time in the fight where I was just like, shuffling my feet around. I'm like, that's like wasted movement. I could have like done a feint or like done something. Like I was like, yeah, I don't know why I didn't like take that one like as serious as like I'm taking the other ones now. But yeah, he fought like a counterpuncher, like a Floyd Mayweather. That's how he was getting me most of the time. But that's how we overcome adversity.
Yeah, I feel like those fights are kind of hard because you always have to constantly engage. It's like, come on, man, throw a little something back.
He's counter, so it was like.
Was it hard counters?
Yeah, but he was like really like single punches, and so I would like throw more like punches and bunches, because like he would throw 1 or 2 shots that would like connect, but then I would come back with like
was he throwing like body shots or just strictly headshots?
He was throwing more headshots. He threw like a body shot like once or twice in the fight, but not as many. But
I'm gonna have to check that fight out.
A Fool, EAOOL.
Yeah, you came out and you surprised me. So yeah, I was impressed with your fighting style. It was cool. I liked it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was the one I had watched right before we went live, and same thing as Buddy. I was impressed.
And I don't you were kind of fast going around, and he traded the lights out. And I'll say this one spoiler, so I don't know if the fight's out yet. Lights Out almost caught himself in trouble dancing around during his fight because he was goofing around, dancing, throwing a couple showboat, and we all have fun. And he was joking around, did something, posed, and dropped to 1 full knee, and then came back up. And I was like, oh, and it caused this huge. I'm not gonna say we won or lost, but it causes controversy temporarily because it was like, so you're goofing off your dancer, but you took a knee, and then fighting, you take a knee to this, and it was like this whole thing, and that was crazy. But yeah, wait for the fight to come out.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny actually. And I was like, during the fight, he was like, "Wait a minute, what?" Because like he thought it costed him. I was like, "Well, you don't know that." But it was like, what? Like, it was so important too, because it was like, yeah, I was like, we have to see what they say.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got to check that fight out when it drops.
It's entertaining. I'll say that. It's very entertaining. So it's like,
Sounds like it. Hey, Mike, we were talking about cardio earlier. I wanted to ask, especially with your style, man, if you guys haven't watched a Mike 100 fight, you need to go search him up right now. Actually, after the show, because this man is throwing bombs the entire fight. And, the the thing that baffles me is you don't lose any cardio. It's like you're doing it every single round, consistently pressing forward. So, question is, how do we do that? How do you do it?
Well, the crazy thing is, for this fight, I just got over, like 2 days before the fight, I had a lung infection. And 6 days before that, I was sick. So I got sick twice. So really, in my opinion, I don't think I could have done a lot more. I think I was at 35% that fight. But what do I do? Monday through Saturday, about 7 miles. But then some days, like when it gets closer to the fight, a lot of uphill sprinting. But yeah, consistently about like 7 miles a day, 6. And like if I got like some strength and conditioning that day, we'll lower it to like 5. But I think having having a base cardio's like
I agree, Tank. I agree.
really important to have that cardio. That base cardio. Like I said, some days, man, because I go to work, I wake up at 2 a.m. I go to work. I got to be at work at 4 a.m. I go to the boxing gym I get off at 12:30, go to the boxing gym, spar, get home, and go run 7 miles. And some days when it's like 7 o'clock at night and I got up at 2 a.m, it's kind of like, damn. But like I said, I figured out when you don't want to do something and you do it, you get a reward at the end. So it's like a double reward. You get a reward right there, and then you get a reward when it's time to fight. And also staying in shape. We could take a fight anytime. There is no camp. We're always in camp all the time. So they could be like, hey, we got something for you next week. Boom, let's do it.
Damn, that's what I got to step my game up then. Shit. I get my training and then I take a little time off. Then I train. I like balloon up. Then I'm like kind of like Patty Pimbley, just blow up, come back.
I did that before, man. But I gotta get for this BKFC thing. I gotta get walking around 165, 168. Yeah. So I'm not. Nope. I'm not. I had a burger on Sunday. And that's it. Boom. I'm right back to the diet.
Yeah.
That's discipline, man. That's discipline.
And Araña, I was actually going to ask you at one point in time about your diet, because I know sometimes being like younger, fast metabolism, you don't always have to necessarily worry about it as much, or do you take that very seriously?
I was the same way.
Honestly,
it's okay. You don't know.
I like a kid.
Do you try to gain weight?
Well, it's hard for me to gain weight because I like eat like little like snacks throughout the day. I can't eat like a full course meal. Like
How much do you weigh?
A 162.
Oh, so you're bigger, man. I thought you
were a little lighter. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's hard.
Shit. You're not that small.
I've been trying to cut to 150 last month, but I couldn't do that. And it was hard, and I was like really sick throughout that time, and I that's when I really couldn't eat. So I was like, I guess I'm just like naturally like 160, and it's weird because I'm tall. I'm not sure if it's because I have a bigger wide frame, but
bone density, man. Bone density is the hidden muscle. Bone density. Yeah. You probably got really dense bones.
Yeah, and I run a lot too, so I don't know what the deal is.
And running makes your bones denser, so you just got heavy bones, man.
You just got a heavy hit.
Yeah, do you hit hard? Do people tell you that?
My mom, my mom told me.
What?
You don't hit your mom, do you?
No. She watched.
Time to train, Mom.
She watched my last fight with my last opponent from the November Scrapyard. I'm not gonna spoil it, But she was like, "Oh my God, you're weak." I'm like, "No, I'm not." She's like, "Yeah, you need power." I'm like, "What do you think I've been trying to do? I've been." I don't know. She's only. I don't really know, but it's hard because your own mother tells you that.
Do you do anything to increase your power, your muscle mass, anything like that?
Honestly, I just try to hit the bag as hard as I can, like focusing on a technique, because I think if you have more technique, it's better than having like big muscle.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. The muscles. What, are you a boxer or MMA?
Boxer.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I see it all the time, man. All the time. Be these big bodybuilding dudes. Not all the time, but there'll be a big dude like a heavyweight roll up in there. Want to throw some leather and boop 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 boop. It's
That's
over.
why I didn't get to tell you guys this, but like my favorite fighters are like Nick Diaz. And,
There you go. Yeah.
Deontay Wilder too. Because he represents the skinny people, and I like that because like people don't think he can hit hard, and then boom, he just
Preach.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're from Stockton, man, so we're Diaz fans too.
Stockton.
Stockton.
209.
Yeah.
And T-Tank or Tiny Tank, yes, that's solid because that means if somebody hits you, you're like a brick wall. That means they're gonna hurt themselves. So yeah.
Hey, I've sparred Tank a few times. He's literally a tank, bro. He's a little tank, but he's a tank, bro.
They got that name for a reason.
Yeah, real talk. Real talk.
I was like, I've always been a fan of those Diaz brothers. I can't lie. I always had fun, and I think that they really make it more enjoyable. And many times we have different conversations about, even if someone's a very excellent skilled fighter, if they lack the showmanship, then they're just not going to sell out the tickets. And there's plenty of examples in the UFC. I don't know why I'm kind of spacing on one or two right now, where they have the skill. They can win by any means necessary, but they're a very boring fighter. And whether the Diaz brothers win or lose, I'm going to watch that fight. I might have to get 8-10 friends over, all pitching $5 in, but we're gonna watch the fight because we know it's gonna be entertaining.
It's a slippery slope though, because they're actually good.
Yeah.
It's when you got a fighter who's not good that tries to talk crap like that, they get humbled. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they can talk crap because they're good, but I still want to get
BKFC Brandon Lambert. I felt bad because I was following some of his Facebook stuff, and it's just like he just talks that mess, but then he got like beat a couple times. It's just like, oh man,
dude, because you could talk yourself into a wreck, man. You could really do that. You could talk yourself into a wreck, and it happens, and you could see it sometimes. It happened with Khabib and McGregor. You talk yourself into a wreck where you're fighting for your life.
Straight dummy.
I have a question. So, what Mike in the BKFC, if like a dude was like talking trash to you, would you like either like sit down and be quiet? Would you be like, okay, you're gonna see during the fight, or would you talk trash back?
It depends, man. It depends. It depends what's being said, but no, I'm not gonna lose my cool, man. I like talking with my hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I think that's a better way to talk. Everybody's different though, man. I'm not knocking people who talk. It's just I think you're kind of giving your game plan away a little bit when you're talking too. So me personally, try to be reserved.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And I know that we're going to be getting to this time. We're going to let you go in a minute, but I have one last question. Samke, do you have one last question for these guys?
Yeah, I got one last one, bro. For both guests, have you guys ever dabbled with MMA? Is that a thing for any of you guys?
Yes, I have. But when I tore my Achilles, that kind of went out the door. I can still go back, but right before I tore my Achilles, I was doing jiu-jitsu. I mean, cage tactics. I was there. I was training boxing and MMA. I was training like 5 times a day. But as soon as Achilles snapped, grappling kind of went out the door. So for right now, just pumping the brakes on that.
What about you?
I saw MMA. I considered it at first, but then like I saw these guys fighting with like MMA gloves at the October event, and I saw his tooth get knocked out, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Not doing that. I don't, my front tooth to be out.
Hey, but that can happen in boxing too, bro. Come on now.
You still got time.
He's got to bite down, right?
Yeah.
I think that was Top Knocker and Comedian, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, oof. Yeah, that's oof. It's crazy because I watch people fight MMA. Like, man, those guys are fucking dudes are crazy. They're fighting with 4-ounce gloves. And then I get in there and fight MMA, and I'm like, oh, it's just a 4-ounce glove. I'm like,
I think I've seen a couple of your fights. You get crazy, huh?
Oh, yeah, thank you. Heck yeah.
I remember one of them, you're like yelling in the camera. It was pretty cool. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I had fun with it, it's I don't know, it's enjoyable. I have kids, so too, so it's like I think of it as if anything was happening anytime, I gotta stay ready. So that way, as long as I'm fighting in a setting like that, I'm putting myself in the situation, so I know should anything happen, I am prepared to handle and do what is necessary to keep my focus and my adrenaline to a certain level to where I can still make rational decisions, not blackout, or most people say, I'm gonna see red and body to the
do your kids like it?
Actually, yeah, they enjoy it a lot. They both cheer, and they get to be like, yeah, daddy's fighting and stuff. And when we train together, it's definitely like a bonding experience, because then not just like I'll take the weights, they just fall alongside, and they do a couple combos, and I try to teach them with pads, and it's like they understand I can do like 1-2 dip, but they kind of make fun with it. And I mean, it's to the point where when they do get older, I can be a little more serious about it, but at least, we're starting that early.
Yep.
What about you?
No.
Because I know you got one kid or you got multiple kids?
No, I got my other son. He's a California Nevada state champion, and then the next year after that, the Southern California state champion for boxing. Then he got he fought for the national championship, the final fight. So he placed number 2 in the country for kids MMA pancration. So, yeah,
that's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
What's in your guys' war?
I would say, yeah, I'll be nice to your family, nice to the kids. I would tell my kids to be nice to your kids.
That whole family is warriors.
My last question is a couple shows ago, I asked people what they felt their greatest improvement was. So I'm going to flip it and say, what do you feel that you want to improve the most about your fighting technique, whatever it is? And I don't know, you want to go first?
Good questions.
I want to be more patient, and I want to learn how to pace. I think that's very important.
Yeah, it's always a battle. It's a war.
For me, I just work on my character every day. Get stronger and stronger character every day, and I know that's all you need. That's all I need.
I love it. Yes. So that means before we hit the commercial break, I have to get shout outs from anyone that you want to give a shout out to, where people can find you on social media, and anything that you want to say to the camera, the people, or
all your plug-ins. Let's get it.
How long is the commercial break?
That's like 2 minutes, a minute, and then
you come back.
Oh, then we just come back and do a segment, and then we're good. So yeah,
we do our segments. This is your outing right here. Give all your shout outs, your plugins, whatever you need.
Okay. Mike, you want to start?
Sure. Shout out to the Bomb Squad. Shout out to everybody at Temecula Boxing. And shout out to everybody watching. Deuce.
Yeah. What about you, Araña?
I want to shout out Cutthroat Boxing. Shout out Lights Out. Shout out JB. Shout out my whole family. Shout out my Instagram, YoungChavo301. And shout out Emma Longevin at twitch.tv.com. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
I want some follows in a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that being said, thank you both. Anything you want to tell them, Psalm K? Because you guys were amazing tonight. Woo!
I appreciate both of our guests, man. I mean, these guys are great fighters, but they're also great people, you know. And we appreciate you guys' time.
Thank you guys for laying
Shout out to MMA Underground.
Yeah.
See you guys. Thank you so much.
Away?
Hey, yeah, thank you to your son on the show too, man. Hey, I saw you there smiling the whole time. All right, Jay, send us the commercial break.
Ananda Professionals and MMA Underground are teaming up to let you know about all of their great CBD products. Gummies are great for your stomach health, and your stomach health is a big part of your overall health. Fighters, are you looking for something to help you recover faster that's safe and healthy? Ananda's got you covered. Use the promo code BBUnderground to save 10%. That's at
What's good? It's your homie. What's good? It's your homie. What's good? It's your homie. Freezes Christ. Y'all know the deal. Make sure y'all head on over to overtimehustling.com where you can catch all the latest merch, all the newest mags, all the media, everything, know what I mean? And you can also find me on Winging It with the homies Keith G, King Dale, and Payne Gusto. And you can catch me on Turf Tales with the homie SK. And if you got nothing to do on Sundays, even if you do got something to do, make sure you tap in the Overtime Reactions hosted by the homie Cuzzo. And I cannot forget the homie Jay over there at the Yankee and the Brit channel. So make sure y'all go over there and check them out. And hey, check me out, your boy Freezes, on that Real Talk with Jay. It was a hell of an interview, yo. Gotta do it again. I keep saying it because I mean it. We gotta do it again. I had a great motherfucking time. But anyway, you know who it is. Freezes H, OTH, Yankee and the Brit, Winging It, Turf Tales, Overtime Reactions, Chronicles Podcast. You know the drill, Cush's Corner. It's a motherfucking movement. So move with it. Or move out the motherfucking way. Simple and plain.
Overtime hustling, we hustling overtime.
Yeah, great show. That was every
Fire.
time.
Fire.
I don't know how we just get good as guests every single time, and everybody's different. Every personality.
Yeah, man. You know, the beautiful part, man, Street Beefs is legit a community, and you get to see different people from different walks of life, man.
Absolutely. Yep. And we all share one thing in common. We're all getting in that cage.
Yes, sir. Well, shit, man. You got something for the people?
Thank you.
Buddy V's Fighters to Watch.
So keep your eyes peeled because this is going to be an interesting one. We'll start off with the Scrapyard. I got Malik Ogun. Now, this was interesting because the fight, it was a pretty back and forth for a while, which actually had me intrigued. And I know that, one guy looks real cut, the other guy doesn't. But like I said, I was there for the fight. It was a good back and forth, and he ended up hitting a good knockout. His athleticism is really up there. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen when he finds someone with the same athleticism, but with the technical skill as well to back it up. So I want to see him back out there again. I want to see what he could do. And that's Malik Ogun. He's one to watch because he's coming back. 2.
I watched that. That was a fire fight, bro.
Yeah, right? It was like, I don't like what people say this and that. It was back and forth. The guy was holding his own. So, I mean. All right, fighter number 2. StreetBeefs West Coast. Very own Prince KT.
Yeah.
Now, he's like, ooh. I've talked about this man before. I actually got the pleasure of being on the podcast with him once before and talking to him, officially meeting him, which was cool. He's a good boxer. I like the way his athleticism is as well. And he also talked about doing MMA. I feel like it'd be a friendly spar if I ever got to just do some training with him, do whatever. I'm curious to see where he goes because he's not only does music, he's also a professional wrestler at that. So I'm just overall, I think he's just someone you need to watch as a person, as a fighter in general. I think he's going to be doing a lot of stuff, and yeah, you're going to want to see.
Hey, KT, I'm trying to get some work next week. What up? I'm going to hit you up. I'm going to hit you up.
Yeah, I'm about to take that little snippet from the West Coast group. All right, last one. This is my favorite from the OG yard himself, Mr. Mud. This guy's a beast. When I went to Virginia, I got to meet him. Friendly as hell, too. Him and his wife are some of the nicest people that will help you out. But if you cross them, they will both get in this cage faster than you could even blink, and they will put those gloves on and beat you to a pulp. This man has earned the name Mr. Mud because he digs down in the mud to come back and get that win. And I mean, this isn't his first rodeo. He's from the OG yard for a reason. He's been around for a while, and he's at a beef fight. He's at a regular fight. He's at someone trying to call him. It doesn't end well for his opponent. Just stay on his good side. So those are my 3 fighters to watch. Yeah. But I think it's might need a little fire.
I think so, bro. It might be about that time.
Ooh, that's fire.
Yeah. Shit, you know what time it is. It's Samke and the Fire 5. Let's go ahead and throw up that first fight. Coming up all the way from the OG yard. You see it. The Image versus Jive Joker. Man, this is a fire-ass fight right here. Point blank, period. The Image versus Jive Joker. Look this fight up. This is one of Jive Joker's first fights. So you get to see him in his earlier stages. And basically what we have here is a brawler versus a boxer. Classic bout. Early on, you see the aggressiveness coming from Jive, and you also see the cunningness coming from the Image. In this bout, one thing that was very noticeable was the corner man. I don't know if people really take this in consideration, but your corner is pivotal in every fight, and it shows in this fight. Again, Street Beefs OG Yard, the Image versus Jive Joker. Fire fight. Check it out. We're going to move on to the second fight. Coming all the way out of Streetbeefs Scrapyard. Look this fight up. This is a fire-ass fight, period. El Giro versus Little Oos. Man, this right here is a banger, bro. We mentioned it earlier several times in the show tonight. Cardio is key. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it a little bit slower for the people in the back. Cardio is key. It played a big role in this fight. We see big shots being thrown all throughout the fight. As soon as the fight starts, first round, we see bombs. We also see a lot of heart. I mentioned the cardio being key, but one thing you got to have when you don't have cardio, you got to have heart. And it's shown by both fighters. Great scrap. Streetbeefs Scrapyard, El Giro versus Lil Oos. Fire fight. Check that out. All right, we're going to move on. You see it. Streetbeefs West Coast. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I remember this day, and this fight right here was my favorite fight of the entire day. Okay? My favorite fight of the entire day. Big boy boxing. Let's talk about it, right? A lot of combos. And what's even more impressive is the inside work. The combinations are on the inside. We're talking about deep waters. We're talking right there, head-to-head action in the clinch. Great work by these men. Surprising movements. I mean, these guys could really move. You wouldn't expect that from the size, but these men were out here doing the damn thing. A lot of skill, a lot of pressure. Street Beefs West Coast. Ozone versus Pandasan. Check that fire-ass fight out. You won't be disappointed. Let's move on. Fourth firefight. We're going to take it all the way back to Street Beefs OG Yard. Title match. Wood Jedi versus Money Mel. This is a title match. So you know it's fire. It's Money Mel. So you know it's fire. Wood Jedi. So you know it's fire. I'm talking about a classic bout. No backing down from either man. Fierce combinations all throughout the fight. Heart and grit by both warriors. I mean, what more do you want? And it's a title fight, so you're getting extra round at that. Street Beefs OG Yard title match. Wood Jedi versus Money Mel. Firefight. Check it out. Now we're going to move on to the last firefight of the night. We going all the way back to Street Beefs Scrapyard to another classic boxing match. Kickstand versus Twin. Two skilled fighters. Both of these guys had some size on them, pushing each other to the limits. What you saw in this fight was two boxers battling for command of the ring. And you saw that every round. Classic bout. And both men fought hard. You know, not every time people come to the yard and they come to fight. Both men stepped in and they stepped out and they showed out. Street Beefs Scrapyard, Kickstand versus Twin. Firefight. Check that out. Sound in the fight.
Ooh, those are some fire five right there. I like it.
Yes, sir. No disappointments in that.
Oh, no. And I'll give one tiny spoiler. In that last fight with Kickstand versus Twin, you guys, there's a spot when Twin gets hit with a nasty body shot. He goes, oh, and you see just a tiny bit of throw up come out. And then after the fight, I remember someone's like, man, are you okay? He's like, oh, yeah, I swallowed that. That's normal. Well, no, I ain't losing that fight. I just was like, damn. I think almost we were like 4 fighters to Scrapyard that the minute they threw up, they were done. They couldn't continue. So it was like, okay.
In fighting period, bro, when you see someone throw up, generally it's a wrap. And you know, I'm glad you gave that little piece of info because from my perspective, I thought it was just a little spit, you know? I mean, it kind of looked like he wanted to throw up, but it looked like some spit came out and then, you know, he held it in. But, you know, shout out to that man, bro, because he slugged on through, bro. Fire.
Fortunately, we can't keep you guys all night, even though we always have a blast every single Tuesday. Thank you guys very much. But any shout outs you want to give, Song K?
Yeah, it's about that time, bro. First and foremost, man, I want to give a shout out to our guests. These guys, two warriors. You guys go check out their fights. Support these two men. Great fighters, great men. And thank y'all for y'all time. I want to give a shout out to Street Beefs West Coast, Street Beefs Scrapyard, Street Beefs Dirty South, Street Beefs OG Yard. We do this for y'all, you know. Heart in the Fight, shout out to y'all. Overtime Hustling Magazine, shout out to y'all. Yeah, man, I don't really do the social media. If you got me, you got me. Yeah, man, it was just a great show as always, bro. I want to thank my co-host, Buddy V, for always killing it. You know what I'm saying?
You too, so okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And of course, the greatest producer in the world, Jay in the background. Thank you, sir. Always killing it. And last but not least, our audience, man. We do this for you guys as well. Thank y'all for being here and kicking it with us. Go ahead.
Thank you, Kevin. And thank you, Go C2, man. Yeah, thank you, everybody, for coming out. We absolutely love all the support that we get because, you know, sometimes, you know, support isn't always in the form of money or in the form of this. Sometimes it is sharing somebody's post, or just tuning into the podcast for a little while, whether it be the whole show, 5-10 minutes, the beginning, the end. We appreciate all of it. Because I know I've done that too. If I can only come for 10 minutes, you got that 10 minutes. I'm in there. So
straight up.
So here's the fun part. So tonight at midnight, there's a code getting released. If you're still on, let me see. So the letter Y, the word and the letter B. So Y and B. Yankee and Brit. So yes, Y and B. You put on Y and B on Zwell-World.com starting midnight. You are going to get 10% off your order, and it's going all throughout Christmas for December. So that way you can get a little something extra, whether it be Zwell merch, a Yankee and a Brit, something from one of the fighters that I sponsor, something else. I actually have 2 video game streamers that will be on the website here soon, designing their logos. So yeah. But you know where to get the merch. Go show some love. Zwell_Buddy V for my Instagram. I do some giveaways. I'm drawing a lot of stuff for this upcoming Christmas for a lot of people. So you're going to see crazy artwork. I'm going to have to take a tiny break from fighting. So I won't be painting with my fists. I'm going to be painting with brushes. Other than that, shout out, to everyone that Somke said. Yeah, shout out to Somke. We wouldn't be able to do this show without a killer co-host. So shit, and Jay behind the scenes. Everyone else that tunes in, everyone else that always supported, thank you very much. And we're going to end it like Jay always says, one world, one love, deuces.